There is a reason the Israeli government is not letting the media in. They are terrified about what the world will uncover.
I just think that's just nuts.
Well, let them in.
I just think
it's one way to find out.
A lot of them look fat. They have fresh clothes
I've
and
seen
fresh
lots
haircuts.
of images of Palestinians looking hungry.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't dispute that 20,000 plus children have died, right?
So whose fault?
Oh my God.
Let's take a look at this.
You acknowledge that there's been no starvation, correct?
No.
You don't acknowledge
I
that?
don't acknowledge that.
Where are the videos and images of the starving Gazans?
Well, I've seen a lot, but you would dismiss them all as fakes. The UN says there was starvation, but you guys don't believe a word the UN says. The other official bodies say there was starvation. You don't want to hear a word they say. Israel denies everything. You can say that no Gazan has starved at all. The reports by almost every official body say the opposite, but you don't believe them. However, the best way to get to the truth is let journalists who are used to covering in war zones, let them go in and do their job, particularly now we have the ceasefire. There is a reason the Israeli government is not letting the media in. They are terrified about what the world will uncover.
I just think that's just nuts.
Well, let them in.
I just think
it's one way to find out.
A lot of them look fat. They have fresh clothes
I've
and
seen
fresh
lots
haircuts.
of images of Palestinians looking hungry.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't dispute that 20,000 plus children have died, right?
So whose fault is that? I mean,
you don't honestly think that life for a young Palestinian kid in Gaza in the last 2 years has been anything but utter hell-y. I do believe the 3-month blockade earlier this year was a criminal blockade. I believe it was deliberate starvation of a people, deliberately denying them food and aid. If you
has any other country in the history of the world been told to feed the people that are killing it?
If you look at the Geneva Convention, actually, but then no other country in the world has had the control that Israel has over Gaza, right? Well, which again is a whole separate issue. Show me another moment in the 75-year conflict where the response has been to kill 60 times as many people, and where you have hang on, let me finish. Where you have a government with people like Smodrich and Ben-Gvir who begin publicly, openly talking about ethnically cleansing all the Palestinians from Gaza, about annexing the West Bank, about taking complete control of all of it, to the point that Donald Trump had to step in and say that is not happening.
Random.
Yeah, so I'm assuming that they're going off the numbers. I think there were around like 1,000 people that were killed on October 7th. My math may be a little bit off. So this number of about 60,000 people that have been killed, it's like, wasn't that the number like in 2024 that was reported, or 2023? So I see more and more bombing happening like on TV, but the number never seems to increase.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like we're still going off these same numbers. So that's just a little, I don't know. Maybe my numbers are a little bit off, but but Piers is, in my opinion, laying it out pretty fairly. And Piers is not like a pro-Palestine guy in this argument, like especially what he was initially.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's not like Piers is the guy that's been calling out Israel for a very long time. No, he was very much supporting Israel getting their get back when it came to October 7th. But the guy, Dave Rubin, I mean, you hear the questions that he's asking. I mean, whose fault is it that the kids are dying? Like, whose fault?
That's a wild take.
Yeah.
That you got, like, I don't understand. It's another group of people not accepting accountability. Like, at what point does that even come to your mind, and you even say that comment, and you ever think that your point will come across because of a comment like that? Like, were you looking for somebody to say, oh, it was their responsibility? It's our responsibility. They're children. They're all our issues. And so the fact that's not your position or stance to begin with just shows how desensitized you are to doing what you're doing, inhumane you are, ignorant you are, and facetious and manipulative and demonic to even think that somebody should be a finger should be pointed to somebody when it comes to children dying, as if it wouldn't be your big grown ass's decision to help avoid those issues to continue to happen, or at least voice that you have an issue to begin with it. That's like saying kids that get in sex traffic, or they're being moved around, get caught in sex trafficking and things of that nature, abduction, stuff like that, and say, well, whose fault is that? Where's the parent? Like, what the fuck are you even saying, you weirdo? It's like, it's dudes like this, like they got this energy with him, but you can't come around here. These people got to get on the right podcast for this type of energy, because that doesn't fly everywhere. Like, we would call you a coward. We don't care whose kid's in the street. If there's children in a compromising position, anybody who's got a man or woman is to protect them children. I don't care whose child that is. If I see somebody on some weird shit in the neighborhood, I'm going to ask, well, whose fault is that he's outside? I don't give a damn about none of that. But these cowards, and we continue to say a lot of politics and a lot of these people that get on with these little suits and put these little hats on their head, and they just start talking as if they're not aware of how to be a grown-up. You got a problem with somebody, go say it to their face. You gotta like, they've taken the coward victimized approach in so many angles that I've been watching since we've started this. It's just so childish how these people operate and even think. And then in the same record, you hear how their children speak. Even when that girl spoke that way, we didn't even blame her. We held the parents accountable.
Which girl?
Like, remember the girl that was talking about Israel's going to grow? The same day that there was that girl who said, I don't know how it's going to happen.
Oh, the clip. Yeah, I remember it. Yep.
We didn't even hold.
First and foremost, want to give a huge shout out to everybody that continues to tap in with us, like and subscribe and join our community. If you haven't already, please make sure that you do. We look forward to engaging in some dope combo with you that can help us all elevate. So like, subscribe, and maybe even share the video if you're feeling real generous. On that note, we'll let you get back to the video. See you soon.
Her accountable, because we're like, this is a child. Mm-hmm. We know who's responsible. Where the parents at? Mm-hmm. When we see the badass kids in Chicago, where the parents at? So these are the parents. These are the parents teaching these children to assume that it's normal for other children to die because of grown-up shit. Mm-hmm. No kids to be involved in that. So at what point did we not draw the line? Man, even in the hood, kids are off limits. Even in the hood, it's not normal you keep the children out of it. You don't involve them in grown-up stuff. To hear a grown man with this Pauly D haircut just got me going, bro. He just got me going. And it's just like, I can't wait to the day that people without an agenda, people with testosterone start stepping up and start being the men that we need in charge of this world, not getting involved in this petty stuff, but calling out these behaviors and these demonic things that shouldn't align with anybody's belief. If your beliefs in your religion aligns with this, then your religion is to blame and you're the problem for perpetuating it continually.
Cosa Nostra, man. The Italians, they said, yo, women and kids, off limits.
Off limits.
Off limits. And now you get these, but to your point, I guess, which is, are we even surprised? When people do such evil things, they got to figure out a way to justify it, right? Yep. They got to figure out a way. It's just a shame that we have so many outsiders justifying it. It's like, even I look at them as the people that have this type of mindset. I'm actually offended by them more than even, let's say, like and it's going to sound maybe crazy, and maybe I'll take this back, but even the people that are actually in it, like the people that are actually fighting, the Israelis, the soldiers that are actually fighting, maybe to even a certain extent is like I'm not going to say Bibi Netanyahu, but the reason why I say this is because us looking from the outside in, we have the full scope of all this that's going on. People that are in the conflict, sometimes you could be crashing out and bugging and you don't even realize it because you're just so far in it. Dave Rubin, in my opinion, I don't even know if Dave Rubin's Jewish. If he is Jewish, then what I'm saying perhaps doesn't hold much weight. But Dave Rubin as an American, like, how do Americans look at that situation? How do Americans, based on the principles that we're supposed to have, right? How do Americans, especially the Christians, how do you look at that type of situation, what's going on between Israel and Palestine, and there's any justification for it? Like, how? I just don't get it.
No, but it goes in alignment, like we talked about yesterday, is we see a common trend with coward behavior, And we see the good people never, quote unquote, the good people never willing to call out the bad people in their community. So this is where it is an issue again. The problem isn't that not all people that are on the side of Israel believe in this, because we know they don't. We're aware of the people that don't, but we're tired of the silence of the people that don't agree with it, because they don't want to necessarily get their hands dirty, or they don't want to be canceled. You sound like the black women that were complaining about the hair at the beginning of the show. I did it because I was scared to lose my job. Then why are you working in a place that doesn't condone the behaviors that you align with? Would you go to a church that doesn't align with your beliefs? I don't think you'd be a Christian and to be like, oh, I'm going to go to the mosque today. You wouldn't do that, would you? We wouldn't question that behavior, because why? It doesn't align with your beliefs. Oh, but when it's money, then I can be quiet now. I got to pay my bills. And it's that type of control that they're aware of, and they continue to scare you into believing that this is your only way out of it, or this is your only way through the situation. You have to take responsibility for aligning yourself with the things that support what you support. And if they don't align with it, and people are representing your party, representing your religion, representing your congregation, and they're not handling it accordingly, have the same effing energy that you got towards Donald Trump when you don't like what he says on the podium. Have that shit for your pastor. Have that shit for the people on these podcasts that don't align with you. I want to see you spread yourself thin in showing us what you believe in. Everybody all of a sudden mouth gets shut. And that's the coward approach that we not standing on that. Back in the day, if a little kid did something wrong in the neighborhood, he wasn't concerned about his mom or dad necessarily seeing him. He was scared that somebody in the neighborhood was going to see him, check him, and then go tell his parents. We've lost this type of village mentality. We've lost this type of family behavior, and look what it's cost us. Look at the people in charge now. We've let these people get out of hand. So I don't know what happened from the generation where that was the normal to now, but we've completely given complete control to everyone outside of that, and we've given control to the wrong people. So in order to step back in and be able to put ourselves in a position where these conversations aren't normal, it should not be normal to hear somebody say, oh, whose fault is that? Somebody go punch him in his mouth. Go call him out. Go cancel him. He should be scared to say shit like that. But why isn't he? Because he know ain't nobody got nuts to put on the table and address the shit. All the believers, all the people that say, well, we not for that. Where's the energy at? Why he not canceled? Why he not canceled for saying that? Why he not scared of the people, the good people? That's the problem. You got to understand, if you're on the side of good, you have to come in a way that you scare people that are on the other side, the opposition. Y'all come in soft with everything. So if you're not willing to stand for what you believe in and willing to crash out for it, I'm just telling you, they got kids that are 15 that are crash out for the wrong reasons. Why the hell you can't crash out for the right ones? That's sad to see that we complain about Southside Chicago's because kids who get upset with other kids are willing to shoot somebody, but we got grown-ass men who ain't willing to check somebody. Don't complain about Chicago. It's a blueprint. Try it. Try it overseas. See what kind of motion you can get. But it's just like everywhere I look, it's just somebody grown and soft. Somebody grown and soft. Somebody who's been through the school system, the job market, corporate, and just lost his nuts. Ain't got none. Not a stand-up person. No more superheroes in the community anymore. Nobody willing to go fight tooth and nail for their sons or their kids. They're not even fighting for their children. This ain't fighting for the children. Look at the men we've put ahead. Look at the men we've put in positions of authority to fight for our children and have the audacity to say we care about America. It's cap. You care about your America. You don't care about America. So, Joey, get me going, man.
Nah, talk that talk, bro. I'm whatever he on, I'm on. Whatever he just said, that's what I'm on. And it's a lack of accountability. And I'm going to move it in the direction of that Robert took it. I one day do want to touch on when it comes to Dave Rubin. I know that somebody just wrote it in the comment. He's a gay guy. Just I believe just had some kids, and he's a gay guy. Just had some kids with his husband, and I do want to have that discussion. Maybe not right now. The way BK's face looking, I kind of want to have it right now. but I do. Let's just let me bring it to where Robert was bringing it. Let me not get too caught up on just making it about Dave Rubin, but everything you said is absolutely true. And to the point where everybody listening, the same way that you're scared to say certain stuff about Jewish people, let's just call it what it is. People are scared of Jewish people. People are scared to bring up Jewish Israel. People are scared to say it. If any other group of people was moving how Jewish people were moving, you'd have no problem criticizing them. No problem calling them out. But with Jewish people, let's just be real. We're scared of them. We're scared of them. That's why they can get away with committing a genocide and everybody just sits back, spitting on your God's name. They're spitting on your God, violating your God's commandments. They're violating your God's commandments, and you just sit back and just let it happen. Don't say anything. Don't voice your opinion. Don't say, nah, that's wrong. You just rely on other people to speak up. And of course, they become targets. Now, I wonder if everybody was speaking out and saying these things that are common sense, would they be able to target perhaps some of these people like a Candace Owens who speak out? Would they be able to target a lot of these other people that speak out? Who knows? Obviously, what's going on with Charlie Kirk? A lot of people believe that there was something going on there where he was shifting his stance. Would it even be a question if more people were speaking out on these things? But it's like anything else. There's a small percentage of people that are willing to speak out, that are willing to go and do more than just what you do on the job. There's a small group of people. And if those small group of people don't do it and typically don't get the support of everybody else, typically those small group of people, those are the people that everybody's not supporting. They just talk ish in the background, but don't support those small group of people that do have the courage to go out there and speak up against something. But let me get to Robert's point, and of course, Robert, we always appreciate.
Oh, shout out to you, Robert. Appreciate the super chat.
Yeah, the welfare system rules encourage the removal of men in the family unit. As married, the woman will lose all the government assistance. We need to change policy so we reward people for being married and living together. I 100% agree.
Absolutely.
100%. It's the fathers and who created the welfare system. See, Black people, just like we'll get up there and shook and jive and clap for Josh Shapiro because Josh Shapiro said it's okay for niggas to wear locks. So we're going to celebrate that. Just like we celebrate that when it comes to this issue. Because they dangle a carrot of giving you free stuff in front of your face with the social programs, we don't even realize how it has led to the destruction of our family. Every single problem. Think about one problem in the Black community. BK, play devil's advocate. Give me one problem in the Black community that a strong Black father wouldn't solve. Anybody in the chat? Give me one issue in the Black community that a strong Black father wouldn't solve. Give me one issue in America that a strong male leader wouldn't solve. But let's leave it in the Black community. Everybody wants to complain. See, this is why they put women in power. Because this is why they put women in power.
Yep.
Because they know it'll destroy the family, and we won't even be smart enough to realize what's going on. We'll just have problems to complain about. And they need to create problems, the Democrats, because if the Democrats don't create problems in the Black community, then how are they going to sell you a product that only works based on you being a victim? They need us to be doing terribly. They need us to be doing very terrible, because then they can say, well, you're doing terrible because of those racist white people on the other side. That's all this is. That's all this is. They literally incentivize women. Which is more important? Why does a woman value a government dollar, a government check over a man? Have we performed like that bad to where it's literally where a woman's choosing between strong black man, government assistance? Strong black. I'm going to go with the government assistance. I'm going to go with these food stamps. I'm going to go with this terrible trash apartment. I'm going to go with all these things rather than that man. So the blame, put it on the men. I still always put it on the men, because most of it is the majority of pandering men. The majority of pandering men. I remember I always bring up this conversation, BK. I was on this Clubhouse. I don't think you were on this when Clubhouse first started. And I was arguing with all these men. One of them was in the chat. Not necessarily that I would say that I was arguing with, but he was in the conversation. And I don't think that we were necessarily agreeing. The conversation of toxic masculinity came up, which has been the group, when you look at Democrats or Republicans, who was trying to convince us that men who just stand on business, men who are strong men, you're being toxic. There's toxic masculinity. They're trying to emasculate men, trying to make men more vulnerable. Oh, you need to be more vulnerable. You need to be more open. People running around saying that. Women don't even like that. Women don't even like that. That was just something it was just like some game that was ran on them, to where it was just an easy complaint that they can have to men. Who wants a vulnerable man? Who wants a weak man? Who wants a man that doesn't stand on principles, stand on like, it's ridiculous, but we bought into it. We bought into the fact that toxic masculinity was an actual thing. We need to redefine what manhood looks like. It's okay for men to cry. Like, why do they keep pushing all of us in this direction? And then they wonder why the majority of us are emasculated, have no leadership traits, don't feel like we even have a purpose in leading, in being a father, or just being a role model in the community. We think that, oh, well, I just got to do it while I'm on my job. After that, when I'm in the community, that's not my responsibility. Where are the actual fathers? Where's the fathers at that are going to stand and not care about what that woman may complain about? That woman who got fed the lies by the Democratic Party, and now she's feeding into these women need to be empowered. Women need to be this. Women need to be that. No, men need to be empowered, especially strong fathers. And instead of trying to make us weak, instead of trying to make us and to remove us from the equation, people need to put us into the equation. Why not, like Robert said, why not incentivize people to be married? Why would you create an incentivization for people not to be married, to not have a man in the household, when you know that the biggest factor in determining whether or not a child will be successful, perhaps whether or not your daughter will get pregnant early, whether or not your son will go to jail, is the father in the household? And that's not where they tend to focus on. They want to focus on other areas. So they want to incentivize, and that's the Democrats, that's the liberals, the policies that apparently Vons and a whole bunch of others like. Those are the policies that are removing the father from the household, that are emasculating the father, taking away the father's power. And then we get the results. We get the results of the moms that as soon as every time you see a kid on TV who just shot up a whole bunch of people, my baby, not my baby. My baby was a good kid. My baby was a good. No, your baby was your baby's a demon. Your baby's a demon because he didn't have a father raising him, and the streets raised him, and your emotional behavior raised him. And that's what he then brought out into the streets, being overly emotional, just responding to disrespect. He disrespected me. And then we get this cycle of what we see now. And now they don't have father figures in the household. So now where are they looking? They're looking for the people in their community that have respect. Well, who's going to be the people in the community in your projects that have respect?
The drug dealers.
Come on, man. This is just...
It's really easy.
It's easy. We make it complicated.
We're making it complicated. We're making it complicated. It's really easy. It's really easy. It's really obvious. But this is what I say. I no longer give people empathy as I've gotten older for choosing bad decisions consistently. I believe they cool with it and they okay with it. So I'm not moved when y'all have issues and problems, because I'm going to question, why were you in that situation to begin with? We know what it takes to fix these things. If women took more ownership in not giving John, the cornball that doesn't show you the principles, the morals, the motivation, the discipline that it takes to even be a good man, then you shouldn't put him in a position to ever be a father to your child. But that would also require your father to teach you what morals and foundational principles that you are attracted to know how to vet who you procreate with. Not necessarily who's the tallest, who's got the nice car. I don't want to hear none of that. He got to be 6'6" with a 6. No, like, this is not how you procreate. And because women aren't holding these silly men accountable, you're giving these men your time. You're not pouring into men. Men aren't a certain height. Men aren't a certain weight. Men aren't a certain income. But because this is the way that you guys have misengaged where what you're attracted to, now you guys are giving people a position they should have never been in to begin with. And you're not forcing the men to become men. You're giving them everything on the front end, and they're giving you empty promises on the back end. You should know what a good father looks like, but it should start in your own home. And if it doesn't, gravitate towards somebody that you believe is a good father. But if we want this to stop, we have to stop using the excuse of, well, I ain't grow up with that. Well, go around the people that do like that. Me and Dak don't have the same parents, but I gravitate towards this family because they have morals, ethics, and principles that I align with, that I love. I may not have all those boxes checked at my crib, but I'm going to go find them because I know what I want to be when I become a father. So you can make these decisions and not be emotional. But when you're trying to chase John because he looks straight, or your female circle is going to say, oh, yeah, he's cute, girl, but he doesn't move with morals and principles, and you're wasting your time, it's going to cause a problem every time. It's both parties. This is a Venus and Mars issue. Men, you got to step up and be the men that you need to be, and understand you being a man is not defined by your income, your height, your size, your weight, your color, how long you can speak, whether you got a gap in your teeth. That doesn't make a man. And women, you have to entertain and understand that you are procreating. You are creating the next generation. And so we want the best possible, opportunity for your family lineage to continue and be successful. It's not through procreating with John on the street. It's just not. So both parties got to be held accountable. That word again keeps running around and following us all week. We have to both be accountable and understanding he shouldn't have been getting the cookies to begin with, because you knew he wasn't going to be a father. But your father never showed you a good father, so you thought John was a good father.
BK, stop playing with me, bro. I see what you know what you're doing.
No, where am I?
Keep going.
I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. So this is not they did it, chicken or the egg, whatever. Where we're at right now, if we want this problem to move forward, women, you hold a lot of power. And that power is going to be who you associate with, who you procreate with, who you spend your time with. And you are more than welcome to cut off people that are not for that, family included. If they're not perpetuating this into a positive space, a motivating space, an opportunity for you to continue the morals and principles that you feel like you align with, your religious values per se. But I find it so interesting that people will ask you in the first couple of dates, oh, what do you believe in God? And that's a judgment of whether or not I'm going to continue to deal with this person. Well, do you ask him, does he believe in discipline? Does he believe in morals? Does he believe in taking care of his children? I don't care who he believes in at that point. We'll figure out the religion thing on the back end. But on the front end, is he what I need to procreate with? If I create a child with him, is it going to be something is he going to be gone the next day? Hold them accountable. And if they're good liars, then I suggest you get closer to a man. He'll give you all the answers to the test of how men operate if you're lost. If you can't read a man, find yourself a good man in a community. And he'll read your man for you and he'll let you know. But the answers are there, bro. The problems ain't hard, bro.
All right. I'm glad that you did that because it gave me some time to think about, my response, because this is the worst group of women ever. This is the worst group of women ever. And it's not your fault, but it is your fault to a certain point if you continue to allow it and don't recognize it and don't pass down something to the next generation of women. This is the most overweight, and I wrote down some things. The most overweight group of women we've ever seen, the strongest, more opposed to, feel independent, I guess would be the right word, attitudes, unappreciative, self-centered, purposeless, not trying to have kids, not trying to have family, all these different things. If we're being real, this is the worst group of women we've ever seen in recent history. And the reason why, it's because of something that you said, in my opinion. It's because of fathers. It's because the lack of fathers. And this should be I get into this conversation a lot because what I see happening is you could treat a woman better than her father treated her mother and get treated worse than the mother treated the father. Here I can be with somebody, or what I'm seeing in society, because it's not just about me, but literally your father and grandfather dogged the shit out of your mother and your grandfather. And you got more respect for them than you have for me, who's trying to hold you accountable to the things so we can work together as a unit, as a team, as a family, as a relationship. But you've never been held accountable to your father. Because what do we say all the time? Your father raised you to be a woman that he could not stand dating. All of these parents raise these fucking princesses when I'm trying to marry a queen, right? But you only know how to behave like a princess. You only know how to behave like a child. You've never had constructive criticism. You never were taught to do any of these things. You never were taught how to appreciate a man because you only value your deadbeat ass dad who tried to be your best friend, and instead of being your father because he wanted to be liked instead of being appreciated for raising you into a woman that can ultimately be with a man. These women are completely unprepared. It's like throwing a kid on the football field without ever teaching him how to play football and then wondering why he can't perform. Our parents teach us. When you grow up in a family where you've never been held accountable for something, now you have to be held accountable, because if we work together, BK, you and I, we work together, we're a team. I got to hold you accountable. You got to hold me accountable. But if I've never been held accountable, then you think, BK, you can make some constructive criticism on me? Hey, Dak, these topics you may have you talked a little bit too much on that one, ease back. If I've had constructive criticism with football, I'm like, all right, oh, cool, no problem. Let's make some adjustments. I know that you're criticizing the player, the performance, not the person. But if you've never had that, you're taking offense to it. Well, he just doesn't accept me for just being my truest self, my best. No, you need to make improvements. Who do you think you are to where you don't think that you need to grow, to where you think that you can just be exactly who you are and that's enough? That's what women really grow up think. Like, he won't accept me for being me. Who's accepted for being me? I want to make $1 million. The job should just accept me for being me? No, I need to figure out a way to add value that aligns with that $1 million. That makes sense for the result that I'm looking for. We don't have that. We have these pandering ass dads who want to be liked. These punk ass dads who want to be liked instead of actually being fathers. And the reason why I say it that way is because it is destroying our generation. People may not talk about this. It is almost impossible to get along with women right now, men and women. And I'm sure women feel the same way. It is almost impossible. I look around at relationships and I'm like, damn, I don't want any of that.
Any of that.
I look around at relationships. Everybody's in counseling the first year or two. I'm like, damn, you don't even got the honeymoon phase. Like, y'all just straight to the counseling. I'm like, we don't have. I look around at so many relationships and I'm like, damn, yeah, that ain't it. That ain't it. But what do the men fall victim to? Oh, happy wife, happy life. I guess you use that same energy in raising your daughter too. So therefore, you get these women that continuously across the board, they're victims. They're the most unprotected group of women. Well, shut up and fall under my umbrella then. How can I protect something that I can't be in control of when it comes to making the decisions? And if you don't have, if you don't have these things, if you weren't raised with these things, then perhaps you should shut up, give some grace. And when you see a man who's trying his best, right? Trying his best, like Vaughn said, a man who's actually delivering on the things that perhaps your father couldn't deliver on, perhaps there should be some grace extended to them and not thinking that, oh, they're always complaining about me. They're always saying, no, I'm pissed off too. I got to teach you the shit that your pop should have taught you about men.
Talk about it.
I'm pissed off too. Who should really be the one pissed off?
Talk about it.
You think I want to have these conversations with you? You think I want to teach you that when you wear leggings outside that are so revealing that men are thinking about putting their penis in you? You think I want to be the one that's got to explain that to you? Did your father not teach that to you? Oh my! Well, I don't understand. Well, I ask your father. Ask your father. And we talk about fathers not being in the household. So let's say the majority of these women didn't have fathers in the household. If you don't have a father in the household, then perhaps you should have a real enough conversation with them. Have a real convo and talk about why he wasn't in the household. Talk about these things.
Stand on business.
Say it again.
Stand on business.
You'll have all that energy towards the man. You'll have all that energy towards your boyfriend. You'll have all that energy and attitude towards your husband. But your father, the one that was doing your mom dirty, and granddad who was doing grandma dirty, you don't have any of that energy towards them like that. Oh, that's just pop. Like, what? This is pop? No, it's just Dak. Give me that grace. I want a family down the street. Like, nah, let me stop.
I want a family down the street too.
I want an escape.
My happiness is important too.
Oh man. Oh my God, bro.
No, that's a fact though. Like, it becomes your responsibility. You inadvertently become responsible for you and the family. And we're not ducking the smoke, but we just saying like, yo, if you don't know what is required to be at the top, you shouldn't be questioning what it takes. If you're attracted to what I'm standing on, if you rocking with a man that you're attracted to what he does on a day-to-day basis, his disciplines, his perception on life, his morals, his ethics, all these things, then you have to sit back and see what it takes to be that person. But you can't change the program with what you believe should be the program because you're in the equation now. No. So we have to understand, like, hold fathers accountable. Go back to the crib and check them. I'm all about standing on business. If that cuts your family off because you're having an honest conversation, then there's a high probability that you're going to raise a family to have a problem having problem confrontational conversations. We're not letting nothing go under this. We're not letting anything go under the rug anymore because we've seen the outcome. We have had one good cycle, and this is where we're at now. We're not about to make the same we're not about to Southside Chicago this shit. And then complain left and right. It's a joint effort on both parties. The good got to be aligned with the good, and the trash got to be aligned with the trash. And if you try to make the jump, if you come from trash and you trying to move to a better place, then you got to understand there's certain morals and principles that you may not be familiar with. I don't know how they move in certain places, but this is why sports is so important, because what you see there, and I'm going to give you a great example. Love using the NFL, right? Niggas Felice, they say. So what we see here is you look on a football team. There's a man on that field who is 10 to 15 to 20 years older than everybody who is playing, who makes less than everybody on that team. These coaches have the free will to walk on there and literally walk to a player who messed up on a play and tell him, Brian, shut the fuck up, get the fuck out. Somebody else get in who wants to fucking play this game. He's acting like a pussy today.
Just like that.
Straight like that. No difference. Send his ass home. He don't know what the fuck he doing here. He been here for 6 weeks. He still can't get it right. Tell him he got to go figure out how he's going to buy his mom that new house and that new car since he can't fucking remember his plays. And I got to shut the hell up and walk off the field and understand my position. How the hell can a grown-ass man who is towering over his coach, who makes more money than his coach, have the humbleness to sit there and listen to that tough criticism and walk back and understand, like Dak said, he's not critiquing the person, he's critiquing the player. Suck it up and get back in there and do the best I can. How is that possible that grown men can understand that? But for some reason, you can't get these girls to understand that. And we're not even talking remotely with the amount of disrespect that I just said. Because what I said is what somebody would say would be deemed as disrespectful. But I'm not emotional. I don't let my emotions get involved. That's how you stay out of jail. When somebody disrespects you, you be like, all right, coach, I got you. You don't be a coward. You just look them in the eye and say, I got you. Bet. That's me. I made a mistake. Y'all right. You turn around, you apologize to your team, and get your ass in fucking line. What's the fucking problem here? What's the problem here? Why are we spending so much time on this topic? Why we can't get this shit straight? If you would stop smashing John for 3 years and being heartbroken for 4 years and having scares and been through everything in emotion with that relationship and don't bring that shit to me, I don't want to fucking deal with that. I don't have time for that. I've got purpose. Your last nigga didn't. I'm not operating on the same wavelength as him. I'm trying to take care of my village. I'm trying to take care of my community. Don't you dare bring what you did to him. You think I care about dinners and all that? Yeah, I mean, to an extent, I'll try. But no, you're not my purpose. I can easily exist on this earth happy without you. You'll never be my priority, my main one at least. You'll always be number two, and you got to be okay with that. Because the men that you guys want to align with, that you can ensure will be good fathers, will never look at you as the priority. They can't. They've been called to do something bigger than somebody in the flesh. So it's better that you just be the co-pilot. Why the fuck you trying to take this shit over? You trying to tell us where our destination should be. The hell? This calling is from God. This confidence from God. You thought you was going to roll up here and all of a sudden you was going to change purpose? No, what the hell are you talking about? I would do this with or without you. But since you like where I'm aligned with, which you should, because these are the things that raise good children. These are the things that keep the community safe. These are the people that you must align with. Then understand the requirement to be here. It doesn't come with confrontation. It doesn't come with it comes with aligning yourself with his purpose, not your fucking purpose.
Yeah, Maya, I just want to let you know that I don't know what BK talking about. I'm not into it for the show, but I promise you I don't do none of this with you. Huh?
Dog, nobody's on the phone.
I don't believe none of that. Whatever BK saying.
See,
look,
this pandering man shit you talking.
Hey, Rai, I just wanna please, I'll play whatever role I need to play.
Play whatever role.
I'll submit.
You submit the test. Yo, see the words, bro.
Hey, she's like, yo, you know you're on the show. I can hear you.
Come on, man. Come on, baby. So we back at that masculinity, and it starts in the household, bro. You got to be held to a high standard, men and ladies. You got to let those high standard men. And look, let me go crazy real quick.
Keep going.
Let me go crazy, ladies. And we understand there aren't a lot of men out there. I'm willing to push it and say, look, if your John ain't him, then maybe you might have to split time with somebody who is him. Because we talking about people that stand on morals, principles, and there clearly ain't a lot of those, right? But the clock's ticking and you feeling a type of way, and you I don't know, you feel like, oh, what am I left with? I'ma just fuck it. I'ma just take this one. Well, look. I don't think that's the best route. I challenge us to be creative. Creative financing, they call it. I challenge us to say, hey, look, if you can't find one, then share one. Just my take, hot take. But we got to.
That's what Granddaddy did. That's what Grandma did.
Switch it up. If you can't find one, then share one. At the end of the day, I'm focused on principles and morals. So I'm a little joking with this, but it's to put real focus on, like, guys, we got to get the program. Ladies, y'all have a power that cannot be fucked with. And that means men value you more than themselves just for your existence. Don't fucking lose that and misunderstand the power you have. But with that power comes responsibility. And so if you're going to be in that position where you are one of the most important things known to this earth, I challenge you to please understand how to navigate that power. Because your circle of friends is not allowing you to navigate the power you have. The fact that men understand they must provide, protect, and provision. They must protect and provide over themselves, meaning that they care more for you and their family than they do themselves. And that's not necessarily something you guys have earned to do. Please do not lose the authoritative position that you have by doing dumb shit. This is why you don't give a child $1 million when they're 17. This is why you don't give a kid a G-Wagon or a Lamborghini when they get their license. And this is why you can't give women all this power too fucking early. Because you'll see 7 kids from 2 ain't shit baby daddies, and she'll be looking in the sky and saying, God, why you do me this way? God's tired. He's busy. He don't want to deal with your shit. He don't have no time. He gave you what you needed to do. You knew it wasn't right, and you still did that. Women, tighten these circles up. Men, tighten the circles up. We all got to just tighten up.
Just want to give respect where respect is due.
My man.
Thank you. Thank you for speaking on behalf of the people, bro. It's appreciated. And all joking aside, these conversations need to be had.
They do. They're important.
These conversations, even though we may be bouncing back and forth, joking, like this is a very serious situation.
It's a fact.
And these conversations need to be had. There needs to be where people can remove the ego. Like, can we have just a phase where it's like, okay, we're going to be able to tell all the criticism without people taking it personal. We're going to be able to really evaluate this thing without people taking it personal. This is the things that you need to do. These are the things that I need to do. Give me some, and benevolent leadership. Benevolent leadership. Because I saw critical thinking right earlier that, yeah, you should also take into account, what a woman's opinion is. I think men are fine with that. I think men are fine with that. I think most of the time, I don't even want to make certain decisions. I don't think men, this is a man issue. The issue that's on the man are when we start to pander and not step up in ways that Samira said that she sometimes need a man to step up.
I just read that. That's an excellent comment.
That's our problem. That's where the men are falling short. In my opinion, the women are falling short in the other areas because you're getting finessed into playing a role that you're not designed to play. Mm-hmm. Like you're the player on the team. You ever have a peewee kid? They trying to put your kid on the line. No, my kid is a running back. Stop trying to have my kid block on the line. That's not what my kid is built for. You know what I'm saying? We keep finding it acceptable because it benefits other people to cause chaos in a lot of our relationships to play out of position. That's what we're playing out of position. So it's the fathers, it's the mothers as well, because the mothers need to be real with their daughters as well. The mothers know what's out here. The mothers know very quickly what's a good man, or let me say this, they know what a bad man is. They know what they went through with their father. And to be 100% real with y'all, women have no idea how to pick men. So if you get lucky, then you should be very appreciative because you have absolutely no idea how to choose a man. And going to your point earlier with BK, men need to play a role in that, in helping their daughter pick men. Absolutely. It's like, it used to be like the man is in the household. So a daughter grows up seeing how their father behaves, seeing how the mother behaves with the father in the household, because that's the dynamic that a lot of women don't grow up seeing. So now women are not growing up with the father in the household where they can learn from seeing the father move. And because the father's not in the household, they feel like they can't bring that level of accountability to the daughter. So what do? They try to buy them things. They do the love bombing. It's all love bombing because it's all temporary. So it's like, I'll buy you these things rather than tell you about yourself. No, tell her about herself. It's going to be worth a lot more than whatever it is that you think you could buy for her that's going to make her happy in that moment. Mm-hmm. So you have these fathers that are not there. The mothers are not keeping it real with their daughters. The mothers are raising their daughters to be independent while raising their boys to be little boys. You know what I'm saying? The dynamics are just completely off. And we see the results. It's all just result based. Like if we were having better results and making these complaints, then I would say, yo, write off what we're saying. Just completely disregard it. But look at the results of it. We're sitting here telling y'all it's impossible. It's impossible to have a relationship. You know when you know what I've noticed? Where are the most tell me if this is your experience. The women that I see that are most ready to have a relationship with a guy, a strong guy, are the ones that already had a couple kids. Perhaps they were married, it didn't work. They had to learn from all of these things. They had to learn on their own because they didn't grow up seeing it. They didn't see it in the household. So I talked to a whole lot of women that maybe married once, maybe married twice, already got kids. And their mindset is completely different than the women that haven't been married and don't have kids. The women that haven't been married and don't have kids, they have this overestimated value of themselves to where they haven't been humbled in certain ways to where they realize, like, no, this is your value. like you think that you deserve this, but no, this is your value. This is how you're supposed to move. in a relationship. They haven't gone through it, so they have to learn on their own. Why do we have to learn everything on our own? If people have to learn everything on their own, relationships are the toughest things that we're going to do in this world. Working with another person to accomplish a goal that you live with, that you're having kids with, that you have a family, there is nothing harder than that, at least from my perspective. So now the hardest thing that we have to do in life, we have no training. We've never seen it before. It's like, go play in the NBA, but we're never going to allow you to pick up a basketball. We're never even going to allow you to see the sport before you actually have to go play. Yeah. That's what we see is happening. Then when you see then when let's say you're in a relationship with a guy who he's trying to figure it out, maybe he had a father in his household. Maybe he saw certain aspects of how things work pertaining to the dynamics between men and women. Instead of the woman getting on board with what that man is pushing, she'll revert right back to the way that either her mother acts or the way that her father told her that she was a princess and that she's perfect the way that she is. All of these different things. It's to the point where, I'll be real, I wasn't even going to say this because I don't want it to come across as personal. It's really not. It's to the point now where I'm not going like, should I have to go talk to your father about taking your hand in marriage? Why am I going to talk to your father?
I ain't off none of that.
Why am I talking to your father? What did your father do? Your father, all he did was create problems that now I got to fix and go through hell to fix. What am I asking for his hand? I raised your ass.
You sound like Young Thug. I made Gunna.
Well, I mean, if the shoe fits, I'm not, to each their own. I'm not talking about one specific relationship. So don't personalize it.
Nah, you ain't see that clip when Gunna was interviewed, exactly what you talking about. He was like, I'm just ain't Gunna. He was like, well, I mean, I helped.
Yeah, I helped. Yeah, God made him, but I helped.
God made him, but I helped.
It's like, yo, why am I? Fathers don't even deserve to be getting asked for your hand.
I'm not off none of that.
And nowadays, you go talk to a father, the father's damn near telling the daughters, like, I don't really believe in. I don't know about marriage. I don't know. That's like, damn. The hardest thing. I'm trying to get your daughter to commit to the hardest thing ever. There's nothing harder that they're going to do in life, but they got everybody that they love and care and has told them that they're perfect their entire life. Are they even pushing it? You talked about a village mentality before. There needs to be a village push for this. There needs to be a more of an appreciation. If you got a good dude, this is the rule moving forward. If I treat you better than your father treated your mother and your grandfather treated your grandmother, you should worship the ground that I walk on.
Oh, shit.
What's wrong with that? Am I bugging? Tell me if I'm bugging. Correct me right now.
Let us know in the comments how y'all feel about his comment.
If your man treats you better and represents a better leader, I don't even got to put any context to it because you saw what I was about to do. I'm not putting any. If your man treats you better than your father treated your mother and your granddaddy that you love so much treated your grandmother, you should worship the ground. That should be the foundation. Now that should be the grace that's given up front, perhaps, or not up front, that's earned through time. That's my stance. That's my stance.
Finn said, nah, we still hold some traditions this side of the pond. Finn, you could be right on that side of the pond. On this side, nah, we need help on Finn, you've heard of the Western women, the Western complex. We got to address it. It's got to be changed. Tradition is keeping us in the past over here. We ain't off none of that.
America, what is 250 years old? It's going to get to the point where tradition is no longer tradition. Like the tradition is going to be changing to what we're complaining about now. As the generations continue to repeat themselves, this is going to be the norm. This is going to be the culture. The westernized culture that a lot of us talk about.
Nah, you gotta be able to I ain't off none of that. If your pops ain't on his shit, bruh.
Get out the way.
I'm checking them.
Get out the way.
I'm checking them. I'm checking all fathers. If you didn't do your job, I'm holding you accountable.
And why does it? And going back to my point, because I breathed a couple of times. I did my box breathing. Why should it not be natural? Like, why it shouldn't have to be, oh, you worship the ground that they walk on. It really shouldn't have to be that. But why wouldn't you? Like, why wouldn't it be natural? Why wouldn't you have such an appreciation, knowing what your mama went through, knowing what your grandmama went through? Why would you not have such an appreciation? It's to the point now where I feel like men want to have families and get married more than women. Like, there's more of an urgency, especially when you have a purposeful person that understands, hey, this is an important part of this path. This is part of what I'm creating. This is an important aspect of it.
Well, look, I don't even agree with why women want children to begin with.
Are you reading a comment, or is that your statement?
This is my statement.
Oh, please elaborate. Please elaborate. I didn't know whether y'all were here. Go ahead.
Just when I see certain things that are said about, the other gender, and they'll say very narcissistic comments like, oh, I'm ready to have a kid, or I'm so ready to have a kid, or I'm ready to have a family. And I just think that's just such a selfish way to think that's how you approach life. Like, it's just something that you input the data and you get what you want out of it. And I think when you don't have purpose, you get caught up in those things being your prioritization. And so when women don't have purpose to begin with, they all of a sudden now start saying very selfish things like, okay, now I'm ready to have a child. Well, like that, it don't work like that. You don't just get the child today because you want one today, or I'm ready to settle down now. Like, nigga, you got to be prepared to get this stuff. You have to put work in to have a family. You got to put work in to have children. The same way a man looks at it. We have to prepare. We don't just be wanting kids. We be scared to have kids because we scared we can't provide for them. How the hell did you you're not even responsible for that. How the hell did you come up with, I'm ready to have them, and we sitting here shook as hell to have them? It makes me feel like we're not having them for the right reason, so we already are not in alignment. And what's being perpetuated makes it so difficult for men because for the men that I'm around, so I'm not going to say all men, but for the men that I'm around, when we're speaking about these topics, we take these very passionately because being fathers, being in the household, being good men, standing on purpose, standing on principles is very important to us. So it's just like we are 30s still talking about some, I got to get my shit straight. Like, I don't want my kids, one of these kids crashing out, or I don't want my kids, one of these kids that have depression, they're not happy, or I don't want to have to be at work all day because I got to provide. I want to be here with my kids. Like, when you have all that in play, you like, nah, like I got to work a little harder. But when I'm hearing women say, I'm not hearing women say I need to work a little harder to get my family. I'm not hearing that disposition. That also, it makes me feel like, damn, do you really want a family, or do you want like the look of it?
The Instagram.
Are we fulfilling some type of thing that like, oh, you can go talk, like, nah, like men are good men, and I'm always emphasize that good men are scared of moving too quickly in those spaces because they understand who will be compromised will be the child, the last name, the legacy. That is a huge fear for good men. So we don't rush into these things. We don't rush into relationships, not because we want 7 bitches. It's because we're scared if we pick the wrong one, it'll ruin everything we've worked towards. So it's very important that we take our time, drag our feet. That's why you find good men at older age. Like with men, as time continues, they get older, they get wiser, they get smarter, they get more disciplined, they're more in control and stable of their emotions. This is why it's very important that these men continue to do those things. But look at the ages when you're hearing these type of conversations from men. It's later on. So it's just like, we have to understand, like, are you constantly working on yourself the same way? If you're a man, if you have not found your man yet, I just want you to know, if you align with a good man, he is still working on himself today. My issue is that I'm not hearing that conversation of self-talk to the women. So does the woman that I'm going to potentially align with, is she, wherever she's at, saying these things to herself like I'm saying them to me? I am unselfishly saying I need to become the best version of myself for others. I need the co-pilot on the same type of time. If they're not saying those things independent from me, then what makes you think they're going to say when they with me? So do they respect the position I play? Do they respect the role? Maybe that's why that's why you won't get the respect from them. Because they don't understand that role in that position until it's time for them to do it themselves. Then they get tired. Then they get, oh, this ain't for me. I don't want to work. No, you don't get that option. No man can ever say, oh, I don't want to work no more. No man get to say, I don't want to protect no more. Those aren't men. It's a whole lifetime of work. There ain't no flow into the sunset shit. It's work forever so the people that I care about, they can do their thing and relax. So it's my job to roll out the red carpet for somebody who's going to make a sacrifice like that, I would think. I mean, shit, the boss get it. He ain't made no sacrifice, and he can call you, text you, tell you what to do, and you jump up. Yes, man. Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Where
was that attitude? Where was all that attitude towards me? All I'm doing is trying to make life amazing for us.
Yeah. So
where was all that attitude? Where was all that?
We had a couple super chats from Paul. Did you see those?
The Paul one. Hold on. Try to scroll up for Paul. Oh, wait. This is Paul.
Yeah, that's it.
Wasn't there another one? There was another one from Paul.
Yeah, I think he dropped two. Shout out to you, Paul Frolic.
Shout out to Paul. Benevolent leadership is right. Men are the head of the household in the Bible, but the responsibility is to lay down their life for their family. That's the thing, yo. You be having dudes that'll die for you, that'll risk everything,
crash out
for you, and you still don't get it. Like you just still don't get it.
Yeah, willing to spin, but you still ain't gonna listen. Oh, all right, okay.
Let me try to find this other. Where's Paul? Definitely said something else. Was it that early?
He did. Paul had. I think he was.
Oh, it was a while ago. My fault. Hold on. We're gonna find this. All right, I got it. Apologies first and foremost, Paul, for not recognizing this when you first sent it. But I think it's funny how it's still relevant to the conversation right now. So Paul wrote, to your point, so many kids are fat and unhealthy. No dad at home, so mom works. Mom is tired, understandably. She picks up McDonald's on the way home. Game, set, match. It's just a cycle.
It's a cycle.
This stuff is a cycle. All this stuff is a cycle. Honestly, the more that we're talking about this, it's impossible for women. I feel bad for women. I really do. I feel very bad for women. That's why I get upset at the fathers. That's why I get upset at the mothers, the aunties. Why y'all not giving these young girls the game? Why are you not teaching them? Why are you scared that they're going to take something that now that you're getting older and your options have shrunk? Now you scared to give the game to the younger girls? Is that what's happening? Because I don't get it. You going through life clearly not happy, miserable.
That be the one.
Yeah, you're getting treated terribly by guys.
You're not happy.
Yeah.
You won't even teach your child to be happy.
And instead, you telling the young women in your life, oh, your body count don't matter. If a guy cares about that, then he's just insecure. Bet. Okay. Like, okay. If that's what you need to feel good about yourself for opening your legs to John or whoever else, then you cool. How did that work for your mother?
Oh,
how did that work for your auntie? How did that work for your homegirls? It simply doesn't work. So why can't we do better? Why can't we figure out a different situation? Why can't we figure? It's like for a woman, how are you supposed to even learn how to be a wife if society's teaching you to be a whore?
A man.
If you're black, it's even worse. Society teaching you to be the whore and to trying to convert you to be a man. Like, so you're a man. Oh, I guess you're not a whore because men ain't. That's just what we do, right? That's in order to justify you being able to have sex with whoever it is that you want to have sex with. Your fathers are being your best friends. They're not teaching you what they would want in a woman. Moms are still confused. You don't want to be like grandma. You're looking at grandma and you're like, no, granddad treated grandma bad, so I don't want to be like. How are you supposed to learn? Who are you going to learn from? We gotta build the plane as we fly. Like literally, the best person that you can learn from is me. It's whoever you're in a relationship with.
I am him.
It's the best you got, baby. Like I'm the only one that's going to be honest with you. Like I'm the only one that's going to say the things that may hurt your feelings. And the only reason they hurt your feelings is because you've never had somebody tell you, like, oh, no, this is how you do this. No, this is how, oh, no, you can't just do what you want when you want to do it. Oh, no, this is your duty. This is your role. You can't just show up to practice and play hard when you want to. And then when you're not, expect to still get the. No, that's not how this works.
No,
this is a performance-based business.
Yeah. If you don't perform, you get the hell out.
Weddings are marriage is a performance-based business. The same way that I got to make sure that I'm holding down my shit.
Mm-hmm. And look, here, let's go a little bit further with that. I like what Steve said too. The family drama of the past ends with me. That's what I do. They stop that shit.
Yeah,
exactly.
Putting my foot down.
I'm not off none of that. I'm not off none of that. All that shit got to go. But then also you got to hold people accountable in the space of, look, moms, when your daughter is here you go.
No. Go ahead. I'm writing down stuff. I'm taking.
Okay, moms, fathers, when your daughter, when your children are at a certain age, you should start questioning why they have reached this specific age and they're not in an established situation of marriage if that is her goal. The conversation can be calm. It will be real. It will be uncomfortable. But I think it's very important that you have a question of what can we do to help you align with the right possible candidate, as well as put you in a position of success and happiness. If you want family, if you want children, if you want all these things, as a father and as your mother, we take full responsibility for you not being able to accomplish that at the age in which you feel like you needed. So we are here to help assist. Now, we know we didn't teach you how to boil a pot of water. We know we didn't teach you how to necessarily take care of yourself physically and work out. We know we didn't teach you how to speak about your emotions in a very cool, calm, and collective way. We know we did not teach you how to vet the proper men. We let your past traumas be your dictators and your teachers. And so now we as parents have failed you, my daughter, because we did not prepare you to go be with the elite, to be with the top men, the leaders. And now look, now you have a kid with an ain't shit nigga, and that's our fault. We take accountability for that because that means I didn't teach you how to vet the niggas you was with. Everybody got a place to take some accountability, bro. So parents, if your kid's at an age where you feel like they're not married, then what the fuck did you do? You clearly missed some questions that weren't answered, and now they fighting tooth and nail. They fighting the clock, they fighting time, they fighting pressure, and you left them. You left their asses all alone to figure this shit out. I know y'all can't see me. I'm about to change the battery, but y'all left this shit out, and you left them. Now they fucking treading water, not knowing what direction to go, thinking that their career is going to make them happier when it's not. You know what will make your child happier. You just don't have the fucking answer. And you're not confident to give them one either because you're not willing to be held accountable for giving them the wrong way. But not giving them an answer to begin with was the first mistake because you showed them how to accept being a coward. So now they're left to figure out how the fuck I'm supposed to continue the lineage of this shit on my fucking own when the two people I trusted the most that have been around me the longest have turned a blind eye and a blind cheek to helping me find and continue to my life moving forward. No wonder she got trust issues. The only two people she should have trusted left her to fend for her fucking self. Parents, you're held accountable. Yo, look at this.
I'm blown away, bro.
Yo, I'm in my bag, yo. Stop playing.
Yo, I'm gonna just let you cook, bro. You made BK getting all the super chat money on this one. I may keep one, but BK getting the majority. You earned the super chats on this show, right? If I may, I actually would like to ask you a question.
Yeah.
You said that it's dangerous for just like how you give a 17-year-old, like you don't just give a 17-year-old millions of dollars.
That's hard money, yeah.
Right, because it could be dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
My question is it just as dangerous to give a mature woman who's not 20, but in her 30s, maybe in her 40s, is it just as dangerous as it is to give a 17-year-old money to give a woman in her 30s and 40s money to where she can live on her own, to where she doesn't need a man, to where she can be independent, to where she is successful, to where she is growing and as we all grow, we become a little bit less willing to compromise. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Women who have become successful and have figured out that they can live on their own, that's been the carrot that they dangle in front of them. It's no different than the social programs. It's no different than the social programs incentivizing the women to not have men in the household. You get these women, now they can take themselves on vacations. They go on their girls' trips. Now at 35, 40 years old, it's almost like the kid, how we talk about men who never really got to experience getting girls in high school or college, or like a lot of these doctors, because they're just in school. Then they get to the money, they get to the bag, they get a certain amount of prestige. Now they want to go in their 30s, 40s, 50s, relive a lot of the things that they feel that they missed out on. It's very hard to convince a woman who's got her own crib, got her own money, goes on her own vacations, to then say, we know you're independent and life is amazing and nobody holds you accountable and you do everything that you want. Now you have to enter this relationship, which is going to be the toughest thing that you'll ever have to do in this world. And you're going to have to compromise with a man. And matter of fact, you're going to have to allow that man to lead.
It's tough. It's tough because more times than not, you know which route they're going to lean on. That freedom sounds good, but it just it's not going to make you happy. The key X factor in everything you're saying is when we use the term men, that's not used loosely. Men are the things that we said that men are. So it doesn't mean just because that's a man, we're including them in conversation.
A male.
A male. These are for the quality men that you guys should be procreating with. These are the things that you have to think of. It is this deep. You may say it's this deep. It really gets this deep. So I think it's at 30, it's like, yeah, I think I won't say it's dangerous because I think it puts it in a space where we're ignoring the lack of discipline that they have at that age. That even with the age, you still are not understanding what's important. So
they have more discipline.
Yes. So now we're having to make the decision and be like, well, you shouldn't have these type of accessibilities, freedom, and this money because we know you just gonna spend when you get it. Like,
you think women have more discipline as they get older?
No, what I'm saying is it's because they don't have the discipline. When you're asking that question at 30, is it dangerous to give them that bread at 30? It's like, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be, but it is because we know if they're able to do all these things and not be accountable, et cetera, they're going to choose that over getting on with somebody program every time. They like that freedom. They want to be outside. They want to go travel when they want to do it. Yeah.
I think they're less disciplined.
As they get older?
Yeah, you're not under somebody else's roof. You don't have to go to school. You know what I mean? You're not treated the same. You're actually going out there making money. Look at how they incentivize. Look at how the liberals want to treat and elevate Black women and convince them that they're the most unprotected. They're victims. They deserve everything. Black women can criticize anybody and nobody can criticize Black women. They have less accountability. So in my opinion, less accountability also creates less discipline in a lot of ways. So they don't have the discipline. They don't have the structure. Who gonna check me, boo? That's the energy. So now you have somebody who's less disciplined, it's like, I think I don't want to ever take away from the purpose of these conversations. I feel bad. I'm pissed off myself. I'm pissed off about this stuff because it impacts us all. Talk to any man that's willing to be honest with you and ask them if they're experiencing the same things. So now at 35, 40, where you're bored because you went to work all day, like literally your cycle is wake up, go to work, dread it, but then I'm gonna go have drinks with the girls. I'm going setting up my schedule here. I got this going on. Oh, I'm gonna go do that. Oh, I'm gonna go do this. And it seems like you have all the time and the money to do it, but in all actuality, none of the things that you're doing are purpose-based. They're all to have fun. Like, damn, have a family, have some kids, contribute to society, do something. But if we're not having families, and now you got the money, you got all this other stuff, it's like a guy out here that has no purpose but just has money.
Yeah, you begin to start hearing the coping comments like, oh, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. Like there's not an incentiveness to want to become better because it's not being pulled by purpose. I like what Samira said again. Samira Sutton, shout out to you for this comment. There are a lot of mothers out there that have had that I am woman, hear me roar mentality and are now jealous of their daughters who chose an easier and softer life. So now the teacher who is to teach these women how to obtain that missed her shot, like you said, and now you don't want to give the game up, or we sense resentment, we sense jealousy, we sense ego, we sense pettiness because your daughter is in a position now where she might have unlocked that code. She figured out I ain't on no roar shit. That ain't my energy. I'm a vet my men accordingly. I'm going to hold myself to a high regard. I'm not looking to sleep with everyone. I'm taking people through checks and balances. And if somebody makes it out on the other end, I'm ready to move forward with them. And when I earn that spot of a exclusive relationship, you're not going to catch me fumbling that. I'm going to roll right into the position like a man with purpose would need me to be, to help assist and alleviate. That's what should be the play. I'm not looking to do what women do. And I would hope women ain't looking to do what I can do. But when we are constantly threading the line, we're bobbing and weaving, and we start moving into roles that we shouldn't roll into, men ain't being men, got the women acting like one, and the women ain't being women and that got the man acting like one. And now we get into a space here where it's counterproductive. It's not moving forward. And now these relationships ain't able to exist and work. We have to understand that. So shout out to you, Samira. That was a good comment.
I mean, well, Samira, please, did I misgaze that? Samira, please leave your email. I'm going to pass it on to BK.
I knew you was going to have that energy. I knew that's what
you felt it, right?
I knew that's what you're going.
Should I not have said it? Should I not?
These people they ain't got time for you this morning.
Bro, I want relationships.
You got this Friday special going.
I want people. I want to be able to. I need my friends having relationships so I can hang out.
You got this Black Friday special going on.
Come on, man. I'm trying. Samira said 40 years old this year, still never married, wasted my 20s and part of my 30s, the wrong person, and now don't even know how to act. But is willing, I believe you said earlier, you're looking for somebody that is willing to not, I think you used the word STF, like to just to give some guidance. Look, so that's all. Look, it's limited out here. There are limited resources, supply and demand. Like, I mean, she wrote LOL. You put it on the screen. I didn't put LOL on the screen. You put that on the screen.
He trying to fire up, man. What's Steve? Steve got a good one here. The combined wisdom between the speakers and the chat is truly uplifting and helps me maintain hope for humanity. That's what I'm saying. We can't do this without
We still gonna win. We still gonna win.
We gonna win. And this makes it so much easier when we got these people in the comments knowing. See, this is why we didn't give up on humanity. We didn't give up. We just got to get louder than the people that are inhumane.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a good one.
Okay.
We didn't give up on humanity. We just got to be louder than the people that are inhumane. Yeah, I like that.
You know,
I like that, Glenn. I like that, Glenn.
We ain't throwing in no towels. We here to stand on business. This is David and Goliath all day. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we own, bro. That's what we own. We're not playing none of that. I'm not doing no tradition if it don't make no sense. I ain't kissing no toes. I ain't begging nobody. Come prepared. Come equipped. Come with your best product. Come with your resume.
Samira.
And if the resume light, that's all I got, man. And be the change, like Steve said. Be the change.
Be the change. That's all we got. So we didn't even get through that video. We didn't even get through Dave Rubin. All right, well, it is what it is. We'll pick that up.
We on for tomorrow, right?
It's Dak. Just want to thank you for checking out our video and visiting the OG Network. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure that you give us a like. And if you're looking to join a community of inspired individuals striving for purposeful abundance, subscribe. And if you're feeling real generous, share the video with some friends and family. All right, I'll see y'all soon. Ew.